Cyrus, the first king of the Persians, who was responsible for overthrowing his grandfather, a Mede king, and ending the Medes' supremacy, freeing the Persians from their oppression. He then proceeded to do exactly what his Mede ancestors were doing, and begin conquering. You'd think after throwing off an oppressive force, you wouldn't yourself become an oppressor, but no, this always happens, and Cyrus was no exception. Of particular importance today is the capture of Lydia and the enslavement of Croesus as an advisor to Cyrus, because today we will talk about Cyrus's death at the hands of the Massagetae. Cyrus, after having conquered his way through the better part of Assyria, including Babylon, turned his attention to Massagetae. Wanting to rule over the city, he decided to sue for marriage with the queen of Massagetae, Tomyris, but Thomyris was smart and knew all he really wanted was the kingdom.
Clever girl.
She denied his marriage proposal, so Cyrus decided to take the city by force. Beginning to bridge a river, a messenger was sent by Thomyris, saying instead of a siege, they should meet in open combat. 3 days' march from either side of the river, whichever side Cyrus should choose. All of Cyrus's advisors suggested to do battle on their own side, as their troops would be fresher. However, Croesus advised that instead they should fight on the other side where the Massagetae already were, as a loss would be less damaging to them, but a victory would be more decisive. Cyrus sided with Croesus, and they began to lay a trap. After crossing the river, they set up a banquet of the finest food and wine, leaving the weakest part of their army there. Then, when Tomyris' son took the camp and began to feast, the Persians descended on them and slaughtered them all. This single action wiped out a third of the Massagetae army. It seemed to be a wise move, but Cyrus just messed with the wrong bitch. Tomyris was enraged and sent a messenger to Cyrus' camp saying, essentially, okay motherfucker, you wanted blood? I will give you fucking blood. So much so that you will drown in it. She swore by the sun god, the most important god to them, and the only one they really worshipped. The next day a battle was fought, and they were fairly evenly matched until the Massagetae got the upper hand and slaughtered the entire Persian force, including Cyrus, after a 27-year reign. But Tomyris had made a promise, on the sun god no less. She was not done. She had the battlefield searched until Cyrus was found. She cut off his head and put it in a skin filled with human blood, proclaiming that she has kept her promise. And that is the death of Cyrus, at least as recorded by Herodotus in his Histories. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. As you can guess, I've just finished book 1 of the Histories and just started book 2, literally before I recorded this. Remember to like and subscribe. Join the subreddit and follow my socials. Also remember to leave a comment if you have anything you want to say. Ring the bell to get notifications, and I will see you next week, babies.